Hey everyone, I'm back and today we're going to be talking about Blue Beetle, and this movie came out in 2023 and it's currently on Netflix, and it was one of the last DC movies before they had to scrap this whole Snyderverse thing or whatever. I don't know if this movie's a part of the Snyderverse or the new James Gunn universe or whatever, but either way, I thought this movie was very bad. It was genuinely awful. I hated it. It was kind of okay at the very beginning, and by that I mean like the music. It wasn't like completely terrible. I was like, okay, this is a bit different for like superhero movies, I guess. I don't know specifically what genre it was in, but it wasn't pulling me out of it at the very least. And then we get to the rest of the movie, and I was like, nope, not doing this. This is just really painful to sit through. The comedy was awful. I wasn't laughing at any of the jokes. There was one part that was kind of funny to me, and it was the scene where they discovered, oh, how to get this like scarab off of the main character. I was like, okay, it's not great, but it was like the best scene in the whole movie for me. It's like the only scene I can really remember. There's also a mid and after credit scene in this movie. Not sure why those needed to be there. They didn't really serve a purpose. And also the acting I thought was pretty bad in this movie as well. Like everyone just felt like they were holding back their performances. Like no one was really trying to play a character. And I couldn't see a character on screen at any point. All I could see were just actors. And it was very distracting for me. And also very disappointing because in a world that's supposedly big, and also for a big budget movie, like this movie had over $100 million as a budget, and that's considered a big budget movie, and yet so many of the performances are bad, and also on top of that, just about all the effects look bad. That's saying something. Like, how you're able to do that, I have no idea. And this movie grossed about 130 million at the box office, so gigantic flop. Not at all what they were looking for. And it's also interesting to note that this movie came out the last year in which this Snyderverse was still going on. It was like their last attempt to like make a bunch of money, and they released 4 movies in 2023 alone. There was Shazam! Fury of the Gods, that was the first one. And I can't remember if Blue Beetle was next or The Flash was next, but those two came out the same year as well. And the last one, which I haven't seen yet, is Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, I believe it's called. I think that's the subtitle. And unfortunately, none of those made money. All huge flops, and just, wow. That's sad. And despite me saying the music was not terrible, I will say that it was overused to the point where it got annoying. And there's also a romance aspect to the movie that I just found to be very annoying. And the sister character in this movie I hated. She was very annoying. Did not want to see her in any more scenes that we already got her in. Could have been removed entirely. Would have been a much better movie if they did that. And she ultimately does nothing in the movie. I don't understand why she's there, whether you like her or not. And a lot of conflict is her fault anyways, so there's that as well. And also the Blue Beetle suit. When it first came on screen, I was like, okay, this looks like a Power Ranger suit to me. But as the movie went on, I kind of just got used to it. I was like, okay, I can roll with this. It's not like the worst part of the movie for sure. But I will say there was lots of blue colors in this movie, which got annoying after a certain point. And ultimately, the Blue Beetle character, after watching the movie, was just a worse version of Iron Man, really. That's all I could think about as the movie went along. I was like, this is just discount Iron Man. Like, you mix Iron Man and Spider-Man, and I guess you have Blue Beetle, or that's what they were going for. Didn't really work. The dialogue in this movie was terrible. No character talked like a real person, and it just dragged the movie down significantly. There was not one good line of dialogue in this entire movie. The action scenes in this movie, you would expect at least something from this movie. Like maybe some good action scenes in this movie, and There really are zero standout action scenes in this movie. Not because it's like ruined in the editing room floor or anything like that. It's just that it just kind of happens and you don't really care. It just feels like weightless, and what I mean by that is just a bunch of computer effects flying around the screen and nothing really matters. I don't care. Maybe they would have been more engaging if I cared about the characters, but that wasn't this movie. Tons of annoying conveniences sprinkled throughout the movie. Couldn't stand those even in the slightest, and this movie desperately needed to be self-aware about what it was and not trying to be like a Marvel movie, because that's ultimately what this movie was trying to be. Just Marvel, basically. Ignoring that DC movie taking place in the, I guess, Snyderverse. Maybe we're not going to get another Blue Beetle film. If we are, it's not going to be this. But ultimately, I just felt like I was watching a bad Marvel movie, and I just couldn't connect with it. Not because it was a worse version of a Marvel movie, but rather it just didn't feel like it had its own voice or just anything good in it. And if it just knew what it was and had fun with it, like a James Gunn movie, would have been a lot better. I also do think that it's important to note that just because a movie is having comedic moments or has comedy within it does not mean that it's not taking itself seriously. Like, this movie does take itself very seriously. It has comedic moments, but the jokes do not change the fact that it is a pretty serious film by the end of the day. It does help with things being like, a bit lighter, a bit less dark and depressing, for sure. Or maybe not dark and depressing, but still, it makes things a bit lighter. I can say that much about it, but unfortunately, it just doesn't make it self-aware. Like, the rest of the movie, if you take the jokes out of the film, it doesn't reflect a film that is fun, really. I just don't get that experience from it, unfortunately. And that's about all I have to say about Blue Beetle. Really bad, really dumb and stupid. Thank you, Netflix, for letting me watch it at 1.5 times speed. That's always very much appreciated. Made it slightly more bearable for me. And this movie just had nothing for me. Only reason why I'm not rating it lower is because I've seen worse, for sure. But, man, what a letdown. It did not have to be this bad and forgettable. So with all that being said, I'm going to give Blue Beetle a 2 out of 10. Thank you for watching my videos. As always, if you enjoyed this review, be sure to leave a like and comment down below what you thought of Blue Beetle, and my social media links, they will all be in the description, so follow me there. And last but not least, subscribe to be a part of Foley Nation, and I'll see when I get my next review up, and that is going to be for The House of the Devil. So look forward to that, but until I get that up, thank you for watching and have a great day.